Good morning, everyone. It's Valerie, otherwise known as Chick Picker.
Jake Becker.
Wow, what's going on here? I gotta fix my computer. That's a little bit better. Oh gosh, stop it!
Stop
Stop copying me.
it.
Quit it some more. Let's see. Good morning, everyone. It's Monday. It's February 17th. It's a holiday.
Happy Donald Trump Day, according to Tom. I think I would celebrate other presidents more than Trump, but
Oh, come on now.
he's the one we have now. So
Yeah, I gotta say, that would not be an easy job.
yeah.
Morning, Carol.
Hi, Carol.
That would not be an easy job, no matter who's doing it. That that would be a difficult job.
Yep.
So, kudos to anybody that wants to do that. That's a nice little necklace. But is there something missing? Maybe not. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Steam. Well, man, I butchered that one.
Steampunk.
Steampunk Town. Steampunk Town. Morning, Hank.
Hey, Mike.
Hope everybody's having a good Monday morning. Mine's going pretty good. Woke up at a somewhat decent hour and getting some work done. There's Sally,
Hi.
the
Sally
upside
Boo
down
Boo.
picker.
Hey guys.
Sally Boo Boo.
Sally's doing good, looks like.
Yeah.
She got a little smile on her face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I stayed up. I didn't get much sleep yesterday. Probably only about 3 hours, and then I decided I was gonna stay up until like 9 o'clock.
Wow.
And so I stayed up until 9, and then I went to bed, and I woke up at 7:30 this morning on my own.
Wow. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling good.
Thank you. I feel pretty good.
Yeah. I think I was up at 5:30, I think. 5:45.
Man,
I know.
that's awfully early.
It is early. When I went to bed at like it was after midnight.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, I'm so crazy.
Why do you do that?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't even wake up to my alarm. I just woke up.
Really?
Mhm. So I don't know. I have no clue. No clue.
That's crazy. I mean, that your clock just automatically.
Well, and it can go both ways too, because I could go to bed that late and then wake up at 7:55 too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Depends how tired you are, I guess.
I don't know. Oh, I think. Well, I was really hurting this morning, because I got all of my inventory done. So I was
good.
bending over, and oh man, I was hurting this morning.
Yeah.
But it's done. It is done.
That's good.
And
I'm still working on mine.
I'm telling you, I am so thankful for that. It's the best thing, even though it took me, so many months to get it done.
Yeah.
It's the best thing I could have done for my inventory.
Right. Yeah. Once I told you, once it's done, it's like, I can breathe. I can,
Yeah.
I know where everything's at, basically. I
Yep.
know that, I put that time into it and it's going to work out, for me.
Yes. I mean, it feels okay. Let me be truthful here. Let me use this word that I can't stand, but it's called transparent.
Mm,
Because everybody uses it.
mm,
But okay, so when I would get orders, I would procrastinate because I knew I was going to have to go and dig and dig
yeah.
and dig through stuff to find something. And now it's like, as soon as I get an order, I don't necessarily pack it, but I will go find out what the number is, go and grab it and put it in a box,
Yeah.
for later. But it feels so good just to be able to go and grab something and then,
Yeah.
and not have to worry about, is it there, or, I can honestly take an offer and not hold on to the offer and let me go make sure I've got it first.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm like at that point right now because I have boxes here that I have to go through, for my inventory. I have boxes in the eBay room that I have to go in, and so it's like everything is like, and then I have stuff on the shelf also. So like I'm like, okay, I gotta go find this first, and then I can accept the offer. And now that I know that I actually have it.
Right. Yeah, that makes a big difference.
Yeah. Mike says, yes, doing inventory lets you know just how lost you were.
Oh my gosh. I was like, I was in the fog. I was in the pitch black.
So how many items did you find that were not listed?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know. But I would say
Estimate.
I 6, 3, 18. I would say at least 300.
Oh my God.
At least.
That's the size of a lot of people's store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's when you have so many items in your inventory. I mean, like you need to have an inventory in place.
Yeah. And
because if you don't, then you don't know.
I was fighting it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was in denial basically, because I knew it was going to take work. I knew it was going to take time, and I didn't want time to be taken away from listing.
Right.
And I just didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't wanna. But it was imperative that I did it. I mean, it had to be done. And this system, I mean, I'm not going to say that it's fail proof, because I found a couple of things that were supposed to be where they were, where they were supposed to be where they were supposed to be, but I found them in different places.
Right.
I found, I found a couple of little loopholes, but nothing real big yet.
Yeah.
Morning, Cindy.
Morning, Shirley.
Morning, Shirley.
And Cindy.
But yeah, definitely a game changer for me. And I feel like I can move on in that area. Now, I will say that my inventory system for everything, this is just for clothing. Oh my gosh, fishing and picking.
You know what? I was thinking about doing that too, and I haven't done it yet, but I might. I mean, like, you know how you like go and you end things and then you relist.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm thinking about doing that too, because I got one order yesterday. I finally sold those, or I sold those Ariat boots that I just listed last.
Right.
So I sold those for $25. I paid $2 for them. So
Nice.
I was happy with that. And it's always a good brand to sell, I think.
Oh yeah, Ariat's good.
Yeah, and
Good brand.
so and I'm like, you know, I listed yesterday. It's not like I haven't, and I've been listing, like, even when I was working this last week, I was listing, you know, like 1 or 2 items a day. I wasn't listing like no big, you know, 10 or nothing, but I was listing a couple of items every day. So it wasn't like I wasn't. And, you know, so I went 4 days without getting a single order, and then I got one yesterday. And then last night I got 2 offers, but they were lowball from the same person that I got lowball offers from last week.
Oh my God.
Like, he literally offered me $1 per item.
Oh my gosh.
And sent 2 offers, you know, for one was for a mobile hat, like a mobile,
Yeah.
like the gas mobile.
Yeah.
One was for a mobile hat, and then the other ones was for these leggings. I can't remember what they're called. Show taboo or show. Dang it, what are they called?
I don't know.
Shatabo.
Dang
it, now I gotta go look.
Morning, Lori.
I can't remember. Shataboo.
Never heard of it.
Shataboo leggings. Anyways, they're freaking leggings. So leggings and a snapback hat. So I don't know what kind of if I'm dealing with somebody, you know, that might be wearing leggings and a hat. Who knows? Who knows? And I don't really care, but I really want more than $1 per item.
Yeah.
And so that they sent me a $2 item this morning. $2 per item. An offer.
Yeah.
So I sent them. I did not decline. I sent them a counter.
Yeah.
And, you know, asked like I am not making stuff up, Mike. Shut up. Shataboo. Shataboo leggings. Okay. Yeah, I'm not lying. It's Shaw SHATOBU.
Huh. There you go.
Seems like they did okay. It's not like they were.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, there weren't any high priced leggings.
Morning, Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Well, you know, I don't know. There's some weird people, and I always counter, but I'm fighting the whole way.
I damn near blocked them this morning because I just you know, after having such a kind of hard week, I was like, I really don't want to deal with you anymore.
Right. And why should you? Why should you have to deal with that?
I, yeah, and Cindy says I would just block them. I usually don't at this point, but they're just being an ass though.
Yep.
And that's kind of how I'm thinking because like I countered them last week and then they declined. So yeah, I figured if I counter them this week and they decline, then what's gonna happen next week? They're gonna send me one for $3.
Right.
I just don't know if I have that much patience.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know.
I am not sure if I can deal with that. So they might get blocked after
Good morning,
this go
Atlas.
round. Hi,
Mimi says
Atlas.
hi.
And Emmy.
Mimi says hi.
I can't get over that girl's faces that she makes in those pictures. She's just like, just that tongue is just going wild.
She's such a cutie.
Atlas, I'm your Aunt Sally.
Yep. And there's Lori and Todd.
Yep.
Uncle Todd.
Yeah, see his hand right there? His hand? There you go. There's Uncle Todd. Thanks,
Morning,
they could go pee up a rope. Ain't worth your time.
Yeah. Exactly. That is right. But yeah, I mean, a lot of those people, I hate to get so frustrated at them and give them so much energy, because they're just, it's almost like they're trying to get a rise out of you,
Yeah.
And
Hi,
so
Tom.
I really just try to, if they send me a dumb offer like that, and there's some people that'll take that. So I shouldn't say dumb, but
I know. Believe me, I was right there because I'm like, I haven't got anything. I'm so freaking desperate right now, but I ain't that desperate.
Yeah.
I am desperate. I'm just not that desperate.
But I get kind of, I don't know how you would say it, I almost offended. I get offended with that. And so
I'm offended. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I offended you.
But I mean, that's the thing is, sometimes I'll get offended and I will go and usually counter like $1 less than what the item is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we'll play this game. We'll see how long you last.
Yeah.
They don't know who they're playing with.
Right.
So
I'm not that part up yet.
No.
Maybe next week I will be. Come check me next week.
Oh. No, I had pretty good sales myself yesterday morning. I mean, it was like they all came in the morning and then it slumped off in the evening or in the afternoon and the evening. And then I had another couple, I think I don't remember. 9.
How are you standing?
9 coming.
I'm sitting right at the moment.
Yeah, because I can see your hairline. Good morning, Bambi.
Hi, Lori and Bambi.
She says I was late. She was over there snoozing.
I came up to get some kisses. That's Nick.
Mom, I taste your breakfast.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, it was a fairly, for me it was an okay weekend.
So you have how many going out today?
I want to say let's see, 6. I got 6 eBay, 2 Mercari, and 1 Poshmark, I think. So 9 so far.
Good job.
But
Good job.
I sold this morning I sold a $30 shirt. Yesterday I've had this shirt forever and ever, but the comps on it were pretty good. It's called Next New Xtel or something. And it was a flannel shirt. It was new with tags. A flannel shirt with the sleeves. It was sleeveless. It was a men's. And it was, I think it was a 2XL or 3XL. But the comps on it were pretty high. And I've had it on there for a long time, and it finally sold. I think it sold for $36.
Wow.
That shirt.
New Xtel?
New Xtel, I think.
Huh.
And I don't know. It was a weird name, but I just kind of held out. I think I bought it at my local thrift store, actually.
Y'all are coming up with some weird names this morning.
Well,
The taboo.
yeah, but yeah, I did pretty good. I was pretty happy with
Yeah, that's
yesterday.
sure.
Still waiting for my
Right down there, Sissy.
my boots to sell.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. My
She said
Tony Llamas.
boots.
My Tony Llamas. My
Yeah.
Tony Llamas. I think I got those listed for 150 or something.
Hank says she feels like we're watching Tom doing a presentation in school.
Do what?
That we're watching you do a presentation at school, and any minute you're gonna whip out your yardstick to point at the board.
No, we're really, really.
Really.
Let me tell you what, I haven't been sleeping good at night. So I thought, well, I'm going to turn everything off about an hour before I go to bed.
Hi, Maggie.
Hey, Maggie.
Maggie!
And I'm going to
Oh,
listen
she can't
to
hear
some,
us.
I'll listen to some easy music. So I have a gospel music playlist, and I was listening to it. I must have fell asleep during Have a Little Talk with Jesus. Because actually, if I let my mind go into a neutral zone, that's what pops in. Talk with Jesus.
Huh.
If I start humming, you know what's going on. Hey, Maggie.
Am I
Are you
here?
on
I'm
your
here.
phone?
Yep, you're here.
Maggie, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Ah,
and we can
I'm
see
on
you too.
hey.
Such a surprise that we can
Yay.
hear you.
My whole
So-
tech.
So glad to see you and hear
Now that
you. And
At the same time.
yes,
Yeah.
all together.
Look, everybody, Maggie's alive.
I am.
Did you get on your iPad?
Yeah, this is the iPad. So,
Oh, good.
Okay.
That's good.
yikes. Yeah, my computer's still in the shop.
Well,
dang them.
just think once you get it back, everything will be all well and everything will be good. And at least I hope so.
I hope so. They're replacing the logic board on it.
Okay. I don't really
I-
know what that means, but
The same thing as a motherboard on a.
oh,
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They've replaced the camera and then they replaced the oh, it's my thing. They replaced the camera and then they replaced the wire going to the camera and still didn't work, so they're replacing the logic board. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean,
If
But-
if anybody that's using a Windows-based computer, if all of a sudden you lose your camera, go in and check your privacy settings, because apparently this last fix or this last update, or not the last one, but the one before that, they
Right.
did something and people are finding out that their camera's not working, but actually it's just the privacy settings you need to
Oh,
turn your, release your private off of those whatever
Release your
program that you want to use. If that makes any
release your
sense.
private.
release your privates.
Yeah.
Not
Okay, y'all gotta quit being so trashy now.
You make coffee come
We
out
got to
my
be adults
nose.
and make a bunch of money. Y'all are vulgar.
You know, we're just a bunch of third graders at heart.
Y'all are hateful this morning.
That made coffee come out my nose. Come on now.
Oh my gosh.
What's that movie where they released the Kraken?
Release the
Kraken.
Kraken.
Release the privates.
I must
Y'all
be
are not
smelling
right.
Folgers all day now.
There's something wrong. Drastically wrong.
Good job, Tom.
Warn somebody before you pop one off like that. I'm about choked.
It's a good thing you weren't eating noodles or something. That would have been really bad.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, it got quiet all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on.
Release
I'm
the
gonna just shut
private.
up. I'm gonna see how this show goes. I'm gonna just stand here and look good and not say a
Come on.
damn word.
You
See
know
how
who we
often
need?
it just like, is anybody there?
You know who we need on here is Carol.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, that she would just take it to a new level.
Or Tara.
Or Tar. Yeah.
Mhm.
Or both.
Or both. Oh gosh, that would be a fun show. Hmm.
Y'all don't be making fun of my chicks now.
What'd you do today or this weekend, Tom?
Walked away.
Oh well,
I can hear you.
son of a gun.
I ordered a new camera. I
Oh.
ordered a new wireless mic. I didn't list anything, but I did call a bunch of stuff and give it away.
Well, that's good, I think.
I got one of my Offspring street legal.
Woohoo!
Oh, good job.
So you're preparing for some new videos with the new camera and all that?
I just want a nice camera. It's an M50. I've been wanting one, and
that was that your reward for getting one child street
no,
worthy or no?
I just wanted a damn thing, and I'm wrong.
It was just because and you got it. Okay, well that's a good reason there.
Hey, then.
Good a reason as any.
No, I want a good camera. I've never had a really good camera,
Hmm.
and so I want to.
So is this for
I
your
just
business
wanted a
or
good one,
for
so I-
for recreation?
I can use it for webcamming. I can use it for, video. I can use it for stills.
Good morning, Liz. I haven't seen you in a coon's age.
Hey, Liz.
Morning, Liz.
Where you been? You been hiding out? Oh gosh, about lost it there. Well, I'm glad that you got you a new. Sometimes we got to spoil ourselves. I know we can get into this mode of, not buying anything and being good financially, and trying to But sometimes, whether it's for your business or for yourself, because we do work hard, I think you gotta, sometimes you gotta spend a little on yourself.
I don't work hard.
Oh, stop. You were working hard yesterday. You mowed, you listed 22 items. Like, that's a record for you.
Yep.
I mean, you worked hard yesterday.
Yeah, one day a week.
Well, whatever you got to do.
Got to keep that part-time status.
Did I show y'all that GPS I got on Thursday?
Yep.
It sold for 165.
Sweet.
Oh, awesome.
Nice. Get it.
Very good.
Don't not look at Garmin's, because if you get the one with the aviation deal on it, yeah,
Uh-huh.
big bucks.
Very good.
Oh. Fish, I don't know what a chatterbait channel is.
Chatterbait.
Like chat roulette.
Chat roulette?
Yeah.
I ain't never heard of that.
There's people that like to talk with other people. And so like they'll have their camera on and they'll get on chat roulette, and it will like filter through different cameras that will like, okay, so a camera will come up and you're speaking, like I'm seeing your camera, okay, and my camera's on, and so like we can either start talking or I could click a button and it can go to the next person.
Oh, sounds like speed dating.
Kind of, but it's not like you're not dating.
So what's the site called?
Single resellers. We need to hook one. Set that. You need to set that sucker up, Sally. The single resellers.
He says, Liz says, of course Sally knows. Yeah. What other herbs with turbate? Come on, y'all.
I'm naive.
I have never
I don't
heard
watch.
of that.
I don't go to those kind of channels.
It doesn't surprise me that something like that's out there.
Some people will be showing stuff. Some people will be masturbating. Some people will be just,
Ew.
some
All
people
right.
will just be sitting
Wait
there
till the
talking.
dadgum.
Scratch that.
Some people will just be sitting there talking. Some people will just be sitting there, and they just want to talk to other people. Sometimes we'll have like a couch full of people, with their camera on, and like this couch full of people just want to talk to somebody else. So it's, it could be anything.
Yeah.
Pretty much, so like you're going on there to talk to people, but you might find out that there's other people doing other things. So that's when your button gets handy.
Right.
You click your other button so you can, fast forward to the next person,
Right.
You
That
don't
makes
have to
sense.
sit there and talk to those people.
Yeah.
So.
Back when we were checking out all the dadgum, the
Morning,
like
Beth.
Zooms and StreamYard, all of those. Somebody mentioned something else, and so I was like, "I'll check it out," and I went to it.
Was it Pornhub?
No, it was like a Zoom type thing. Anyway, there was a couple of guys on screen talking and enjoying themselves.
Oh.
And so I exited out of that, and I went, and then I went to Google and I typed in the name.
I told you about.
And then unless you put the E on the end of it, which was the real domain name,
Oh.
you got to this other thing, which was running the software that they were talking about, but the domain that they had set up didn't have the E on the end of it. So you got surprised. Like, oh golly. I'm not sure this is what I
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Maggie, did you get a haircut
Who?
or you just got it fixed different?
Who?
Maggie? It just looks like it's shorter on the sides. Or has it just been so long since I've seen Maggie that it's,
It's very pretty.
yeah,
It's
I
short
like it.
on
It
the
looks
side,
really
yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's a little shorter on the sides, but it's been, well, I was gonna say it's been this way for about 2 weeks, but you probably haven't seen me for about 2 weeks, so.
Yeah,
Right.
it's been
Right.
about that long.
Yeah.
Well, you got a thin face, so you know, it looks really good on you,
Yeah. It looks
Yeah,
very,
okay,
very
good.
good.
Mike. Let it go, son. Let it go.
I just seen Haig's comment. Some people be releasing their privates.
Yeah, Hank. There's
Uh,
that you just can't unsee.
Hi, Karen.
that is true. Karen.
Yeah, I do. I like Maggie's hair. And Lori's hair is coming back nicely.
Yes. It's beautiful. Nice and thick, it looks like.
Yeah, it's pretty thick.
Give it about 3 more years, it'll be back to not quite as long as it was. Your hair grows slow, girl.
Oh no, it don't.
It grows
It does-
fast.
oh,
it'll
Lord.
be down to my
Yes.
it'll be down to my shoulders by the end of summer if I let
I
it go.
need I need to have my hair cut every couple of weeks. It grows so fast.
My hair grows pretty slow for the most part. I think.
Mine's thick. It's thicker now than when I got it cut.
Yeah.
Good morning, Beth. Hope you're having a good morning. Stay positive.
Stay positive.
I've been
Oh,
growing
no,
out my
it is not a
hair
full
for about
house.
30
She can
years
have-
and it just won't.
Not cooperating.
It refuses to grow.
Good morning, Lanchart.
Yeah.
Craig says it's a full house this morning. Oh no, she can have 93 more people in here.
Sure enough can. But you sent a message that said that Tom sent a message yesterday that StreamYard's opening up more areas for panelists or something.
Yeah,
Is that what you said?
Oh,
I was watching the town hall last night, and somebody said you need to add like 8 more. You know, make it so it's like 8 people.
Mm-hmm.
And the young guy that looks like he's about 12, probably one of the owners. He's like, we're working on it. We are going to be adding some more people to the paid. And that's what I sent a message a long time ago. I said, you know, for the paid people, you know, take it up to 9 people.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly,
yeah, why not?
after about 9 people, it's, you know, you're going to start talking all over each other and
Yeah,
that type of thing.
but
I mean, like tonight I tested out Zoom and we had 40 some people on there. You know, it was constantly moving because somebody would say something and it would jump. It was constantly jumping around on the screen because after you get through the initial, I think it was 20 people on the first screen, then it creates another screen
mm-hmm.
or another page. So if somebody on the second page says something, it jumps to that one, and you know, so it was kind of hectic. But anyway, they're going to add. They didn't say how many. I'm kind of thinking they're going to keep it in the
maybe
like
under 10.
3, or you know, to keep it uniform across the screen.
Yeah,
But that'll
Yeah.
be nice.
that makes sense. Oh my God.
yeah, especially if you're paying for a service. I
Yeah.
mean, you ought to be able to do something more than what the free version entails.
Yeah.
That's what.
And they're getting into more, they're going to be adding more of, which you can already do overlays and things like that. But I think they're trying to add a lot of features that OBS has as far as things you can do with it, as far as, you know, customizing it for your look,
Yeah.
That's cool.
which is a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, really, they really need to see who they're, up against, their competition is. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I like Zoom, is because there's there's options there, and you're not paying an arm and a leg for those options.
Right.
And I like it as a service. Knock on wood, I don't have problems, setting it. I mean, the problem in the past has been my computer.
Right.
That's been the problem, not the service itself. And I like it.
Well, when you
And yeah, it is $16 a month, but I think it's well worth the $16.
right.
I think they give us good service. I don't have a problem ever getting on. No little to none, technical difficulties with the site. So that's why I stick with it. Yeah, I would prefer a free site, but of course I would
All the
be.
money you make off of
Oh, God.
YouTube,
Yeah.
you can pay for this and not even think about it.
Yeah. I'm glad I don't base that on paying my bills off of that too. I'd be in a world of hurt.
I was watching a YouTuber. He was talking about StreamYard, the duck.
Mhm.
And he was talking about, that it seems like they're trying to pull in, and they are, like the banners across the bottom and things like that, stuff that's OBS stuff. Because he said most people, he says, I got a $4,000 gaming computer here.
Mhm.
And he said, when I throw OBS on there, he said, you can look at the system resources just drop because it's such a hog. So unless you've got a really high end computer, you're really not going to get all that you can get out of OBS.
Right.
Now, one of the things they were talking about, StreamYard, and I'm sure it's with the same with Zoom, they are very low resource.
What does that mean?
Because yes.
You know what I found interesting when they were working on my computer and they had me doing all different kind of things. And they were working and looking at the memory and what was using the memory. You know what is a huge memory hog is Chrome, the browser, Google Chrome.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I use it because there's certain extensions I like to use that are only Chrome extensions, but I'm rethinking that because he showed me how much that hogged my memory. And then if I, once I turned it off, how much memory was freed up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
interesting.
I was watching, or maybe it was in that chat last night, the town hall. They were talking about the new version of the Microsoft Explorer, whatever they call browser, whatever they call it.
Edge.
Yeah, that
Edge.
it is going more and more to the Chrome based
Oh, really?
programming or system or whatever.
Huh.
But them boys over at StreamYard, they are really, because some of the people that was in there I recognize from like all kinds of chats. Now it might
Right.
not be resellers, but it can be Traveler or that type of thing.
Yeah.
That are in there, and they keep it up and keep listening. And I'm glad that they listen to people to see what kind of things they would like to have. They're going to end up they're going to be some very wealthy young men because everybody likes it.
Well, you gotta listen to your people.
Right. Now, Zoom is meant for an entirely different crowd. Zoom is meant for business,
Right.
you know, where they've
Business
got
meeting.
150 people scattered across the country, that type of
Right.
thing.
Right.
I mean, that's really what it's made for.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you can look at the features it has and see that that's what it is. They don't have, you know, some of the cutesy little stuff that we have.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway,
And I think that's why I like it, because it is so, it's, you know, it's more professional based. I think that's one of the reasons why I liked it. I don't know. That's just me.
so
Because, you know, they're catering to that, to those
Right.
people that are having meetings. So it's going to have to be, you know, the kind of the best of the best type of thing, rather
Right.
than, you know.
Well, if they were smart, they would offer a free version that would do like 6 or 10. And then they would have their paid version that would do the 100.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're
But-
making money, you know.
But maybe they don't need it.
yeah.
It's
Well, that's
true.
just it. You got enough, and they're expensive. When you start looking at the like the company platforms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're real expensive.
They're pricey, yeah.
And so that's not what they you know, they're looking at big companies. It's, you know, that $500 a month is not going to break the bank,
Right.
especially if it's sales staff and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Don't forget to thumbs up, everybody.
Yeah.
Thumbs
Show
it
the
up.
old girl some love.
Thumbs it up. Thumbs it down. Whatever y'all want to do.
Well, you already got one thumbs down.
I know. I see it.
Oh, Lord.
Well, that's good. You
Thanks
know,
for
you
showing
can't
the
make
love.
everybody happy.
Nope. Nope, you can't.
So anyhow,
You definitely can't.
there's Tom's TikTok this morning.
Hi, Nikki. Why you in the chat, honey?
Come on in, take your shoes off. I could say that because I'm not gonna see your feet.
Right.
You don't
Right.
want to see my feet.
I don't want
Time
to
for
see
the
anybody's
pedicure.
feet.
Hi, Nick.
Get along with Lacey just fine because she hates feet too.
That is like, and it's not feet in general.
It's
It's
the
the
toes.
second toe
Mhm.
that complete,
big
and I
toe
don't
or
know
from the little
why.
toe?
I don't know why. It grosses me out.
Okay.
It totally grosses me out. Like I don't know. I'm not even going to because it's stupid. It is. It's dumb, and I don't know where it comes from, but
I was gonna throw my big toe up there.
I'm like,
Well, my toes look like
too
fingers
much
anyway. 'cause
compression
they're
on my
long.
God.
stomach. Hey, girl, what are you doing?
My dad used
Yeah.
to say I could hang from a tree with my toes.
I will tell you that's the only part of summer that I hate is seeing
Flip-flops.
everybody wearing sandals.
Oh,
I
no,
hate
I don't have
that
any
part
problems
of
with
the
the
summer.
sandals. It's these people like me that should not be wearing
Yeah.
some of the shirts that they wear that shows a little
I
bit
don't
too
I
much
don't
skin.
even I don't even care about that.
Oh, it does me.
I
That kind of
don't-
like
I-
creeps me out.
I don't know. I don't know why I'm like that, but I am, and so
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, especially if the second toe is larger than the big toe, right?
yes.
I don't have that problem.
Grosses me out.
Mine are all uniform. They
They're-
all slant.
My second toe is bigger than my big toe.
There was a lady, and you know, if I'm not saying that I don't like you if your second toe is long. Yeah, it's just my thing. It's a pet peeve. It's whatever, you know. But I was watching a video and somebody was doing an auction, and I'm not going to say who it was, but so you know, I was watching the auction and you know, trying to concentrate on that, and then in the background there was like a family member that was sitting on the couch. Well, she was barefoot, and I could see her feet in the camera, and I had to get out of the. That was the thing I was focusing on, and it just threw me for a loop. I couldn't handle it anymore.
You need a little therapy there.
I would say so, probably so. But that's the funny thing is that's the way most people's feet are. You know, because that's what balances you. I mean, the really the longer that your toes are, the more balance you should really have. Because that helps, you know. But I don't know why it does that. But it just, yeah, I can't.
My
hardly-
second toe's bigger than my big toe.
Yeah.
Good morning, Jennifer.
My dad always said if I lost a thumb, they could take my big toe and nobody ever know the difference.
That's the reason Valerie doesn't hang out at nudist parks anymore, nudist colonies.
I'll be fine as long as
'Cause
I
their
don't
feet,
look down.
She can see their feet.
As long as as long as I don't look down, I'm fine. So I try to just concentrate on looking at the horizon rather than looking down.
Mr. Sadie said that's okay. My brother-in-law won't get in the shower if the walls are wet. His wife has to dry them off first.
Wow.
Okay.
Why,
Wow.
Mr. Sadie?
I used to be afraid of taking a shower. I thought I was going to go down the drain.
Yeah, you were 2 years old.
Oh yeah, and I would climb slick walls to get away from the drain.
Oh my
That's
god.
okay. My oldest son faked taking a shower for about 6 months because he heard me talking about my mom having cancer, and I said that you know, she didn't smoke, she didn't drink it, you know, it was weird, it must be in the water. And
Oh,
so my
Lord.
son took that and thought, oh well, I can't take a shower because I'm gonna get cancer.
Oh my gosh.
How
Yeah.
old was he?
I would say probably about 11. No, he couldn't have been that old. He's probably about 8, 9.
He just didn't want to take a shower.
Poor little guy.
It could
I
have been
know,
like
but-
that, or you know, it could have been. He was very like that. He was pretty OCD in almost everything he did, and I think
Right.
at that time he was kind of on the spectrum a little bit.
Yeah.
So, you know, he didn't understand a lot like we do.
Mhm.
Right.
You know, it communicated in different ways, and
Yeah.
he's completely different now. But yeah, he totally took that and ran with it.
Well,
Well, he gets that from that gene that you share with your sister through your mother.
I
That
guess
must be
so.
the connection, because your sister really has that toe thing going here.
I'm very OCD in a lot of ways too. I just, you know, there's certain things that get to me.
My best friend,
I know
he's not
one
very
thing.
OCD about anything except his wallet. If all his credit cards, debit cards, stuff like that, the chip has to be down so you
Mm.
don't see them.
Hmm.
All his money, when you open it up, it starts at the ones and it goes to the higher bills, and all the faces are fronting.
huh.
He will stop, he will stop and he will if people give him change, he'll
Mhm.
sit there and he'll fix all those bills and put them where they're
There's-
supposed to go.
There's a lot of people that do that.
And I'm
I'm bad
like,
about
dude,
that.
really, let's go.
They gotta be in order and they all gotta be going the right way.
I don't even know what cash is.
OJ says
I haven't had any cash in so long.
my wife's grandmother is so scared of cats that she screams and covers her eyes if she even sees one on TV.
Hmm.
Wow.
And she
Well,
wouldn't wanna
she
come
better not
around
watch
here
this
'cause of
show that I'm on, because she's liable to see one go walking by it.
the lady, one of our neighbors gets kittens, and then when they get not cute anymore, she puts them outside, and then they end up having babies. So that's what we do all summer, is catch them and take them and get them fixed.
Oh my gosh.
See, I could never have a cat that's not fixed. Because if the cat had kittens, I would never be able to get rid of them, because nobody would be able to take care of them as good as I do. And so I end up with no, because I have them fixed, because I just don't want.
We don't have to go see the musical cats.
I just
we got
don't
them
want
all
all
out
these
here.
We don't need any more kittens. We got. I mean, the world has enough.
Yes. Definitely.
Except for, who was it, Tara, that sells cat coats?
She put 6 out just not long ago. She posted, "Guess I'll clean my cat room out" on the
Put your
community
butt down.
page, and we end up catching 6 of them, and none of them were fixed.
Oh wow.
So it's like, ah.
Anyway.
Well, I'm glad we're off of that subject. at least not focused on me anyway.
Tell you what, my doctor's not shy about body parts. Friday at my exam, he examined everything. Yep, everything. Like,
Well,
hold your arms up. Let me check them armpits for your lymph nodes, and let me hear your neck. Yeah. Okay. Bend over that thing and smile. You know?
Smile for the camera.
And he didn't tell you that he loves you, and he didn't offer to take you out for dinner either, did he? But the last time I went to the doctor, I saw a female doctor, and she said, "I need to come in for a physical." And I said, "Well, can you do that?" She says, "Well, if you have a regular doctor." And I said, "Yeah, but he seems to be always so busy." And she says, "Yeah." And she says, "We use blood work to check prostates now. We don't do
They don't do
the finger," because she said, and according to her, you
Maybe
could
Todd's
have
doctor
you could
doesn't
have an
want it.
inflamed prostate just because of some activity or something that you've eaten, or there's something like that.
Some
Whereas
activity.
on a blood level, they're looking for specific things that they have over the years they have found, that have shown up in blood work when men have prostate problems.
Yeah.
Todd, you've been duped.
Good morning, Nikki.
Maybe
Todd,
Todd's
you've been
doctor just
duped.
likes.
You could have went and did a blood test.
Oh, this doctor they did blood, they did feet, they did armpits, they did
They checked it all out, huh?
a-holes, they did the
It's
whole
like-
thing.
Sure,
I
you could have went to Walmart and got a 15-point check there.
Oh,
That probably would have been cheaper.
Go to the dermatologist for a skin check, and it's like, take everything off and just stand there and let her go over you from head to toe.
Yeah.
Well,
Can't hide anything.
no, but you gotta get that stuff done. You gotta
Oh yeah.
get that stuff checked out, because next thing you know, you'll end up, have
Yeah.
issues.
Melanoma on my arm. So I'm not
I've
taking
got
any-
a spot on my leg, and I've had it checked out by the doctor. Okay, before you start freaking out and saying, "You better have that checked out, doc." And it's like hard skin,
Uh-huh.
and she has scraped it and sent it in, and she's like, "It's nothing to worry about." Well, it's not getting any bigger or anything like that. It's about the size of a dime. But it just feels so funny when you're rubbing your hands on your legs and you run across this piece of sandpaper that's attached to your body. But she's like, "Oh, it's nothing to worry about. Well, when you come in next year, we'll look at it again."
Yeah. I don't know.
It amazes me how they can tell just by looking at what it is or what isn't.
Yeah, Mike.
OJ says if you have ridden a horse or a roller coaster recently, it will show up as a high PSA.
Really?
That's interesting. What's PSA?
That's the test they do for the blood
Oh,
test. they
okay.
do
Huh.
Yeah. How can a roller coaster affect your blood?
I don't know.
Weird.
There is an episode of Family Guy, if any of you are Family Guy fans, where, where Peter goes and has an exam and they check his prostate, and he thinks he's been sexually assaulted.
Oh my
Now,
God.
mind you, that's not that would not be hard to think about. I mean, but the whole episode's about him being sexually assaulted by the doctor giving him a prostate, and all he did the fingernail. That's all he did.
Maybe you did a little too much wiggling around up there.
I don't know. No, you gotta watch Family Guy. Peter's stupid as a box of bricks.
Hey, Tom, before you say anything like that, you're supposed to say trigger warning.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
Before you say anything like that, you're supposed to say trigger warning.
Trigger warning. Okay.
I like Family Guy.
Oh, okay.
I don't worry
OJ
about triggers. If you
OJ
triggered,
said
then you
that
need to
was
get out.
that was according to his late father's. He was a doctor.
Yeah.
He
Wow.
was talking about. Huh. So take heed. I mean, before you have your physical or whatever, don't go riding on a horse or a roller coaster. There you go.
And it screws up what?
It brings up the high. It shows up high PSA, so it makes your numbers high for the prostate test
Oh,
or the prostate values.
oh.
What they're looking for.
Mm.
Texas Tigress.
Guess that's how you would say it. Good morning,
What's an
Brinky.
NMD?
I don't have a prostate, so don't worry.
I think you're safe.
No, but
you're
them
safer that
mammograms
way.
y'all go through. And what's the other one?
A
Back
pap smear.
in the saddle again. That one.
Yep.
Put your feet in the stirrups and ride that horse.
Oh my gosh.
My doctor, Dr. Sappenfield, he's just a guy doctor. He only men and teenage boys. That's all he does. He don't do any girls unless they a couple of years ago. I went in for a physical and we were having a flu epidemic out here.
Oh.
And I said, "Have you been busy this morning?" He said, "I've seen about 20 women this morning." And I said, "You don't see women." He says, "When they got the flu and there's nobody else to see them, you see the women do."
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
That's a good
Makes
doctor.
sense. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, he's a naturopathic. Pathic. Okay. Cool.
So I ought to get a new doctor.
Huh.
Is that the MDs that are witch doctors?
Oh, stop it.
No, I'm just kidding. There's a doctor here in Charlotte that is
Like a homeopathic.
yeah, she's a real doctor. She's a real MD.
Yeah.
But she tries to do all the homeopathic stuff.
And I think that's good.
I do too.
I trust that.
My dad has one of those doctors, and that's what Jason's dad was. And yeah, he loves her. He thinks she's great,
Mhm.
and she gets him through everything. So, and if she ever has like something that she thinks needs more attention, she's not afraid to call another doctor and say, "Hey, I need help on this,"
Right.
Or let's pull out some meds and send it in.
Valerie.
Uh-huh. What you got there?
Who do you think that is?
Looks like Laurie's dog. A little bit.
Is that Prancer?
No, it's Jonah's girlfriend's dog. She has one that looks exactly like Prancer.
Oh, really? Huh.
Ariel. Ariel has one that just looks like, his name is Kingsley, I think, though.
Kingsley. That's an interesting name. for
But
a dog.
Jonah says her dogs are so cute, and he sent me pictures, and I'm like, she has a dog that is the same as Prancer, like the same coloring and everything, and she also has another dog that looks like Toby,
Huh.
a Chihuahua that looks like Toby.
That's crazy.
I know, but Toby has more black on him than her dog,
Uh-huh.
but he's black and white spotted, or
Huh.
he's white with black spots,
Right.
and that's Toby too.
Huh. That's crazy.
I know. I know. It's just like, I don't want to jinx it or anything, but
Yeah.
it's like, I go
Yeah.
with a lot of things that are like,
Yeah.
like the same, or,
Yeah. Yeah. Coincidence.
coincidences.
Coinkadink.
Yeah.
Jason said yes, they are witch doctors, but they had to go to medical school. The
Yeah.
lady I was just talking about, her grandmother was a root doctor.
Hmm.
And the friend of mine that goes and sees her, she said she's got a display, and she'll say, this stuff right here, which you can find in the North Carolina mountains, is what they originally gave for aspirin. And she said aspirin that we get now is based off of this one root. And she goes down through all the different stuff that you can find in the woods that are, I mean, a lot of people, they did take ginger instead of,
Oh, yeah.
Pepto and stuff
Yep.
like that.
Hmm. Well, just like my daughter Tina, I mean, she because she has got the 3 small kids, she uses a lot of elderberry syrup, and she swears by that stuff. And I've never seen that in the stores before. It may be now, but I like when my kids were little, I never seen that. And I think it's more of a Southern thing. But the first time I heard elderberry syrup was on The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
When they all had flus, the flu going around.
Right.
Which starts again next week.
I know, I
Heard
can't
it.
wait.
Elderberry wine.
Now, Tina, you will go to the bad place after talking to the man or woman in the black robe if you're popping the cork out of that daggum bottle of elderberry broth, that you give the kids.
She is a big believer of that stuff.
Because there's elderberry wine's real popular.
Oh, is it?
If you can find enough of it to make it, yeah, it's real
Huh.
popular. That's the reason I was saying, oh, they're just wound up tight today. I better give them a little elderberry to slow them down a little bit. That will get you in jail.
No, she's a big believer of that stuff, and she she says it gets rid of their takes care of their allergies and colds and everything. So, well.
But
It
look at
doesn't-
Julie
The
and
boys were
Emberlyn
little.
when she treated her Emberlyn's eyes with her milk.
Huh?
Look at Julie and Emberlyn when she treated that thing with her eyes with her milk.
Oh yeah, with their breast milk. I mean, who would have thought that? You
Yeah.
know, and that,
Yeah.
that didn't even take a nurse coming in. That didn't even take a doctor. They didn't even know what to do for Emberlyn. Because she just had a rash on her eyes, and then it kind of went, kept going down. But they told her to use her breast milk. One of the nurses came in and said, try it. And, you can't. you can't lose really because it's a natural thing. So she tried it and it took it away.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean
That's so cool.
it just I don't know. I don't know if that if that rash just needed that enzyme in the milk or what, but yeah, it did the trick. Never would have thunk that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was the time when my nephew was in the hospital and they didn't know what was wrong with him and couldn't figure it out. And I said, not meaning to be as creepy as it sounded, I said, well, maybe Julie needs to send my nephew some of her breast milk. And then after I said it, I was like, I really didn't mean that as creepy as it sounded.
Yeah, you did.
yeah, they were like, yeah, she totally did.
But you know, you got to think about it. There's all of these meds that we have. Back in the 1800s, they didn't have biolabs set up fixing, remedies. Somebody had to go around and say, well, let's boil up some of this here in the sassafras grass and see what it does to somebody, if it helps them properly.
Yep, it's true.
Yeah, Rita says bottle that up.
My dad's sister had greenhouses, and she raised flowers for all the Jason's down at Myrtle Beach. He would all the big azaleas and things like that that's in around all the old hotels and whatnot came from her greenhouses. Anyway, you could be at her house and talk about stomach problems, or you got a headache or that type of thing. And she'd go back out to her greenhouse and come back in, and she'd have some kind of leaves or flower, and she'd boil it up and, make like a tea out of it and say, drink this and you'll feel better. She had some friends that their husbands were sheriff's deputies. And they came by because my aunt loved orchids. She had an orchid greenhouse, which was a bitch to keep going.
Oh, I'm sure.
Anyway, they would come by to get orchids, and she would just, for weddings and stuff like that, she would just, her friends would come by and get orchids, use them for the wedding, and then bring them back. Well, one of the sheriff's deputies stopped by to pick up something one day, and he said, Miss Strickland, what is that right there? And she says, I don't know. I just found it growing on the side of the road. And he said, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to take that with me. He said, that's what they make heroin out of.
Oh,
He said, now where did you find this at?
Those
And
And she
poppies.
told him where, and the farm that she found the flower in front of had like a barns and pastures, and then they had like a hedgerow, and on the back of the hedgerow that you couldn't see from the road unless you actually went back there, they had all these poppy plants and whatnot. But she said, it's just the prettiest red flower. He said, yeah, that'll get you 50 years in jail too. He says, you haven't been making any tea with that, have you? And she said, no. He said, because if you did, you just want to lay down for a while.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I never got that as a kid. I mean, of course, living in California, you always hear that, you don't pick these flowers, it's illegal. Of course, if somebody told me that, I'm surprised I didn't just go and pick them anyway, because, I did exactly the opposite of what anybody said. But yeah, I never got that until I was like older, of course, that, that was why it was illegal to pick those flowers. Frankie says, I took myself off all my meds for depression, anxiety, and restless leg. Doctors had me on 8 different meds. I told them I wanted natural remedies.
Oh,
That's a big deal.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a guy, a doctor that wrote books, Dr. Wales, and I think it's Wails. He's an MD, and he does so. I mean, his books are about using herbs, getting away from processed food and all that kind of crap.
Yeah.
I just wonder, I mean, Michael takes so much medication. He's had heart problems and stuff. And I just wonder if the medications don't cause more, every time something else is wrong that I think might be a side effect of medication, they say, oh, well, it could be this, and they put them on another medication. And I
Yeah.
just wonder sometimes, like, if you were to just go off all the medication.
And start over. That they
Yeah.
did that with my mother one time because
But-
they kept happening to her too, and they took her off all of her meds and started over because eventually they just start adding on. Doctors don't always watch the charts,
They just keep adding medications and adding medications.
Yeah.
But he
And
can't,
then you
he
run
can't
into
try
the
it.
problem. Then they give you a new prescription, and they go, oh, wait a minute, can't do that because that acts with
right.
prescription A. It reacts
The
against N.
pharmacist
So we
actually
got
know
to
better.
change prescription A to something else.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way it is with Roberta. They'll,
Mhm.
one of her levels will go up, and they'll give her something, and then they'll say, well, on this you need to back down this to like 1/2 of or 1 pill, because some of her pills come in 1 milligram.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 1 because that's what we say. Sometimes she's taking 3, sometimes she's taking 1, sometimes she's taking no to balance out her numbers.
Okay.
And
Just takes so much.
but
stuff.
when she was doing the dental work, and they gave her is it a Z-Pack?
Yeah.
Okay, you thought that we were getting ready to go to war with North Korea because the pharmacist said the pharmacist had to call her specialist, and her specialist had to call the dentist, and the dentist had or the oral surgeon, and then it was like, okay, making sure nothing that is going to react with anything.
Well,
Yeah.
because dental work, it's dangerous. You can, they don't want anything that might cause an infection.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
what
that's
I'm
it.
saying? Like
Right.
that.
And with her heart.
I even had to, okay. Everybody's, is it me freaking or is everybody else freaking?
You're
No,
a little
you're fine.
jerky at times, but
You're a little glitchy.
I think it's my internet, sorry.
It's
Okay.
okay.
Like I had to call my knee surgeon before I had a tooth pulled because of the implant that's in my, my knee replacement.
right.
Because if anything travels through the bloodstream, that could cause infection. So that's why they're very, 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 very careful.
Yeah.
And
And with her heart problems, because dental problems, and take heed to this, people.
yeah,
Take note of this. Dental problems can cause heart problems.
right.
Problems. Yep.
It's a direct link to your heart, and that infection will go right to your heart.
Right.
So it is very important to get your teeth fixed.
Yeah. So they're just being careful.
This
So-
elderly lady that I work on her computers for, she had to have rotocup surgery.
Rotor cuff surgery. Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. Rotator.
And I was, I'm not having rotocup issues. It's just arthritis. But anyway, she says, if they tell you that you need to have rotocup surgery, tell her to, or cuff. She said, tell them to kiss your ass. And I'm like, what? Because she never cussed. She says, yeah, you tell them to kiss your ass until it gets to the point that you cannot function. She said, do not get it done. She says, I'm in more pain now than I was before.
Oh wow.
My husband
she-
said of all the surgeries he's ever had, he's had eye surgery. He's had many surgeries in his life. And he said his shoulder surgery was the worst.
And she had knee replacement. She said, don't get that done either.
Well, I'm happy I have mine.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
But you're not
you know,
nearly as old as she is when she had hers done. She was in her late 70s. Okay. You haven't even hit 60 yet. So we're,
Hell,
you
my dad-
gotta have a little difference in body's temperament there too. But
See, that's, I can't take Michael off all his medications because he can't die until I turn 60 because I can't collect.
There you go.
Nice.
So he's safe for now.
So let me just say this real quick. So I worked in a in a pharmacy years and years and years ago, but one of my many jobs. But so it's really important for you, if you get your medications, if you have prescriptions, it's really important for you to get them all at the same place. You know, hopping around and stuff like that. That doesn't work because the pharmacist, the computer system that they have has a program where if you put
That
in
alerts.
a medication for this person and it doesn't, you know, I'm trying to think of the word, I lost the word, but it doesn't go along with your other medications, an alert will come up and it will continue to come up, you know, until it's cleared by the pharmacist that, you know, yes, you can take this medication with this medication and it's not gonna kill you.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so just be aware of that. I
Yeah,
just
listen
wanted to
to your
put that
pharmacist.
That little-
And
No.
tidbit out there.
if you ever have a pharmacist that says, I'm sorry, I can't fill this for you because of such and such reason, have him call your doctor.
Yeah.
And usually,
I had a-
they will.
I used to date a girl back before Roberta, and she was a pharmacist, and she got into a freaking screaming match with this doctor
Uh-huh.
because
Right.
he sent her a prescription for this like 82-year-old lady.
Yeah.
And she's like, she told the lady, I can't feel this.
Mhm.
And the woman said, why not? And she says, because it's for too high a volume and it'll interact with some of your other meds. Well, the doctor should know what he's doing because he's an MD.
Yeah.
And she said, well, we need to call the doctor and find out what he has to say. She said, well, I'm going to go see him right now. So she left him. The doctor called back in shortly and said, thank you for catching that, because he wrote this thing for like 0.3 milligrams of such and such, and it should have been 0.03.
Oh,
Because the 0.3 would have been like enough to immobilize an elephant, you know, so
Yeah.
it would have killed that woman. And it was, you know,
Yeah, definitely.
after it was all done and said for, he was very thankful. But up until that point, this pharmacist was contradicting his medical professionalism.
Right.
And Deb worked at a little local pharmacy. There was only one pharmacy. And so she had a lot of old people who had been coming to that pharmacy for, you know, ever.
Yeah.
And so, you know, she was always, it don't matter. Well, nowadays I can go to the Walgreens out here, near my house, or I can go to a Walgreens across town, and everything will be showing up on the system as what my prescriptions are. But back before that,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the reason a lot of people got caught up on drugs and whatnot, prescription drugs, is because they would get these scripts and they would go to one pharmacy and get it filled there, and then go to another pharmacy and get it filled at a different script for the same product at another pharmacy, because they didn't know that somebody had already filled it. If that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, that Fishing and Picking says I have high insurance plan. Doesn't cover my meds until I hit 7,000 every year. I signed up for GoodRx with Kroger and save about 500 plus a month on meds now.
heard of that. I've heard of
I
that.
heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that GoodRx is a good program.
Fishing and Picking said one med is 7 days, cost me 146 at Walmart and only cost 13 at Kroger with GoodRx.
Wow.
Good morning.
Hey
to the
there,
comfortable.
Charles.
Hi, Charles.
That's crazy.
The medication that whole industry. I hate that industry. I mean, I know that it saves people. I know that, you know, a lot of people would not be here if there wasn't medication.
Right.
But I think they just gouge and gouge and gouge and gouge, and you know, and I think they are the reason, the whole pharma world. I think they are the reason that that we don't have a cure for a lot of our diseases out there. You know, there may be cures out there, but you know, they're not letting them get through because that would cut down on their profits.
Okay, we're going to jump into fantasy world here for a minute, but just say we had a visitor from another planet show up, and he says, in this, I can give you one shot and cure whatever's killing you, or you know, ailment. You got cancer, you don't have cancer anymore. Just imagine what that would do to an industry.
Yeah. I mean, it would definitely hurt us. You know, economically, it would hurt. It would hurt the United States. It would hurt the world, pretty much. So, yeah, there's.
Well, what I'm saying is, it would just totally wipe out an industry. And like you said,
sure.
You know, if they find a cure for cancer, there's a lot of drugs and a lot of procedures that will go.
Oh yeah.
Bye-bye, because you don't need it anymore. You know, I don't have a problem with pharmacy companies trying to recoup some of their expenses, because some of this stuff can be, I mean, some of the trials and all this kind of stuff on developing these drugs are very expensive and take such a long time. But like the guy that arbitrarily changed the price of the bee sting injectors.
Epinephrine.
Yeah, it went from you know, it went from like $70 to like $500.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
It was a great big jump like that, just because they chose to do so.
Yep.
And you know, I'm not into big government, but I think there's at times that governments need to say, okay, you got to make a little money, but you got to keep it in line, because it's not our fault that they've got 5 billion stockholders out there and they all want their 25 cents.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, Frankie says just one of my meds. Thankfully, I was qualified for money aid, but was $1,950 a month. I was on
Lord.
3 years. Wow.
Always. And if you're not aware of it, if some of you are healthy and all of a sudden you get one of these big scripts that you got to go on, always contact the manufacturer.
Yep.
Because they usually have some kind of discount card, you know,
or a program, or
something like that to help you get the price down.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Roberta was on some of the, oh Lord, she was on some that were, if we had to pay for them, you know, we would have been bankrupt a long time ago. I wouldn't be sitting here. And we had a drug card and all this kind of mess. You know, it's like stacking coupons.
Yep. Frankie, or actually OJ says, my father had firsthand experience with this. Big Pharma bought several companies my father assisted over the years, close them down due to being able to cure cancer with natural herbal remedies. Yeah, and like Lisa said, you know, Rob's insulin is $4,000 a month without insurance. That's just crazy. I don't know. I think there's something that can be done with that. Maybe not, but you know,
somebody needs to sit down, and we're supposed to have some of the smartest people in the country up in DC. It looks like 10 or 20 of them could get together around a big conference table and figure out something to do about this price matching, price fixing and whatnot.
There is something that can be done about the price of medicines, because
my husband is on many different inhalers, you know, like $500 to $800 a month inhalers. And when we were, excuse me, sorry, sounds like I need an inhaler. Anyways, he was doing researching. Medicine is like half the price up in Canada,
Right.
or 3/4 of the price. And honestly, he was talking to, I don't remember who he was talking to, but somebody that was affiliated with somebody that did something important at the hospital. Anyways, the hospitals are getting their medicines from Canada, some of them, because they're cheaper. But yet the hospital's charging you just as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of hospitals that get their medicines from Canada, and yeah, it's way cheaper to get your medicine from Canada.
And some of these big pharma companies get millions upon millions of dollars from the federal government for research. And I think that should be taken into it too. I think that if we give you money, I think we should be, as a nation, should be an investor in that product.
Right.
Hi, Tim. A long time since I've seen you too.
But see, you know, it's like Roberta, you know, before she had her transplant, one of the ladies at work said, "Roberta, you're looking a little yellow today." And so we, you know, when I picked her up from work, we went to the doctor and they did all the blood work and stuff like that. And then they did some other tests. And that's when he said, you know, you don't have a liver transplant by, that was I was 2 days before Thanksgiving in 2009. If you don't have a transplant, you won't make it to Thanksgiving of 2010.
And she had no inkling of a problem before then?
It just flew up.
Oh.
Now he said she probably like the yellow. I didn't notice the yellow. And the doctor says, when you see somebody every day, you don't notice things like that.
Yeah.
And then, but you know, other people might have noticed something, like her coworker, you know, she just happened to notice it. I mean, there's a lot of people that you know, has something to develop all of a sudden, and nobody's prepared for the expense,
right,
for a catastrophic illness, heart transplant, or heart attacks and all that kind of stuff. It gets so expensive. I mean, it just about bankrupt us, and we had some damn good insurance for the transplant. And we got lovely phone calls from the hospital for a couple of years, and we're
reminding
like,
you,
get something, we'll send it to you. Have a great day. Bye.
Check is in the mail.
And then Vanya had a collapsed lung when he was about 17.
Oh Lord.
He's tall and lanky, and the doctor said, actually the nurse that was seeing after him, after he was, you know, they inserted a hose and all that kind of stuff to help reinflate the lung and whatnot. She said, there's a boy 2 doors down that's about your same age, and he's had this happen twice. And what it is, these skinny, lanky boys, their bodies grow so fast that the lungs don't grow as fast, and it creates a space in between the lining and their lungs. And that's what causes it to collapse. Or something of that sort, you know. But speaking of the devil, I hope that's him coming through the door. You know, you just never know when this crap's going to happen.
No, you don't. You just gotta.
So anyhow,
Thank goodness you're here today, because you may not be tomorrow.
that's right. Enjoy today for what it is, because
Yeah.
you might not be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just
go
got a
ahead.
call from the clinic.
Oh.
Thursday.
Are you pregnant?
Cholesterol medicine. Yeah. Shut up, Tom. God, I'm pregnant.
Oh my gosh. I should have known something was like that was gonna pop up.
Well, you
Yeah.
know those Texas guys, they're just all over the place.
Yeah. Steers and queers and all that.
And I
Yep.
don't see no horns, boy.
Oh my god.
$100 beer.
You know, Jason says that like MDs, hospitals and MDs are great for trauma and emergency operations and stuff like that.
Get it.
Oh, get it, baby.
I
Get
have a
it.
good friend that's a nurse,
That would be me.
and her partner, she's a doctor, and they've never worked any place in the hospital except in the ER. They want to patch them up and send them to a floor or send them home. They do not want to be emotionally attached to them at all.
Yep. Best place I ever worked. I loved ER.
And they worked before they retired. They worked at the big hospital in downtown Atlanta, which is where they take all the prisoners and everything to, or back in those days they did. And they brought a guy in that was stoned out of his mind. And they were putting him on a gurney or one of the beds back in the emergency room. And one of the new young nurses had left a tray out. It had a couple of scalpels and some other torture devices on it. And he showed his people back, and he grabbed one of those scalpels off that thing, and he says, "I will cut you, the first person that comes near me." And Dolores, she's a big lesbian.
Okay.
She's
She's a big
bone.
woman.
Yeah, big bone. Big bone. I'm just trying, you got to get the mindset here. This is like 11:30 at night. 11:30 at night. She had enough. And
You're saying she's built like a brick shit house.
she grabbed another tray and dumped everything in the floor with it. And she says, "Come on." This is what her partner, Sally was telling us. She was standing there going, "Come on, you will have to go to the to the OR instead of the ER, because I'm getting ready to take the top of your head off of this tray." And he looking at this big woman. He was conscious enough of his thoughts to realize he better put that thing down, because she's getting ready to kill him. But it was her boss was her partner was, which they worked in the ER together, but they did not work like as a team type deal.
Right.
She's getting ready to kill that man. But she and I didn't make that as a derogatory. I mean, that is a derogatory remark or anything like that. You know.
I know.
We know.
Just a stereo. She is a stereotype, and she doesn't care. You know. She and her partner have been together for 55 years.
Wow. Good for
And that
them.
was beginning way back there where you really ran under the behind the walls, shades, whatever the expression is, undercover. But even the sheriff's deputies that were trying to help secure the guy was like, they were backing off. She's ready to kill somebody. But I was not, it's
okay.
That's a hard, being a doctor or nurse where you have the same patients for a time. Even though you might have them for 3 days, they're gone. Then you're off on, weekends off or whatnot. You coming back to them and they're still there.
Yep.
You got to get attached to them, especially if they were kids. I could not be a pediatrician. I could not be a pediatric nurse or anything like that. Cause I just,
You just fall in love too quick, huh?
I do fall in love with kids too easy.
Oh.
Hey, Tara,
Yeah,
Jimbo.
if I ever went back to respiratory, I probably want to go back to the ER, but I think it's it was good for the time that I did it, but I don't know that I could keep up now. I'm lazy now. I'm just gonna admit it.
Oh, you should admit it.
My dad's brother's wife was a nurse, and she went old school. I mean, she was back there where when she started off as a nurse, she had the 3 white dresses, the
Yep.
white tights, the little white hat.
Yep.
And she wore that every day to work.
Hmm.
She said she never did pediatrics after the requirements to, for her nursing training.
Hmm.
Because sometimes you can't be gentle. Sometimes you've got to be, just because whatever issue is, you got to, you're going to make them cry. You're going to make them hurt. And
Yeah.
not because you're intentionally wanting to do it, but
Right.
just because the situation. And she
Yeah.
said she just never could get over that. So she never did pediatrics again after she did her. That was back when the days when the nurses had to go spend like 2 weeks at the Bull Street Hospital. That's the name of a street in Columbia, Bull Street.
Sounds
And that's
scary.
where our state mental hospital was at. And they were required to go down there, and they spent like a week or 2 down there working with the patients down there. My son's girlfriend just got her BSN, and she had to do nothing like that.
Yeah. I am currently going through all of my jewelry, so that's what I'm
Oh,
fidgeting with. I'm pulling out some stuff.
I was wondering what you were busy with.
Yeah.
Where'd you get all the jewelry from?
Oh
Auction?
my gosh.
Where has she had all the jewelry?
All over the world.
It's
All
a
over.
whole new world.
I have so much of this stuff. I gotta get.
Is it you or Bridget that's got like boxes under your bed?
Both.
That's Bridget. I do not have gold
Both of
in
them.
my bed.
Both of them.
The world.
I do not have that under my bed. No. But yeah, I mean I've got so much of it that it's definitely not. I would say it's not. I probably have more clothing than I have jewelry. So jewelry is a little easier to store
Mm-hmm.
because it's so small and you can fit so much in a tote. But it's still I need to get through it. So I'm trying to pull some pieces.
Are you listing it, or has it already been listed?
Oh God, I haven't listed. I mean, I have a lot of jewelry listed, but I have even more that's not.
Me too. I have gallon bags full of it.
But it's one of. I would rather have a storage unit full of jewelry than clothing,
Mm-hmm.
because I would have so much more in there. But I like it. I try to switch off back and
Oh.
forth.
Hey,
I like
Dwayne.
researching it.
My
It gets
next door
tedious
neighbor,
after a while, but
my next door neighbor got a metal detector for Valentine's Day from his wife.
Metal
So
detectors?
they've been going down to the greenways. And they've got benches around the greenways and on the greenways and whatnot. So they've been going down there, and he's found some bracelets, some rings. There's a one spot on the greenway that you can go down to the actual creek, and it's
Mm.
real sandy down there. And I know that a lot of little kids go down there and play in the sand. And there's a guy that lives up the hill. He and his wife, they go down there and they rake it out to make sure nothing's in the sand. I don't know if they sit up on their on their porch and watch the little kids play in the sand or what. But anyway, he found a bracelet down there, and it's probably a 1/4 inch wide
Mm-hmm.
and probably 8 inches long. And he brought it over to me and he said, don't you have a loop? And I said, yeah. So we looked over it and it's 14 karat gold.
Sweet.
Oh, wow.
And I said,
Awesome.
what are you going to do with it? I said, you're going to run a notice saying, did somebody lose a bracelet? Describe it. He said, hell no. He says, it's going to and he pointed to I've got a little, it looks like a little treasure chest, but it's got like 2 decanters in it and some shot glasses. Well, he's got one that doesn't have that in there. He says, it's going in the treasure chest.
Oh yeah. I don't
So
blame
what
him
he-
for that.
And
Yeah.
since we had a conversation about, silver and sterling silver and stuff like that. So when he's out and about and he runs across it, he's been buying it, throwing it in his gun cabinet for his grandkids. And he's like, no, it's going in the treasure chest.
Mary says I sell about 2 to 3 pieces a day, so it's a good bread and butter item.
It definitely is. I mean, even if it's not gold. I mean, I've got a lot of pieces. I think I've listed everything that's gold or silver, but it's still. I mean, people are always looking for a statement piece or whatever. So
Yeah. And like I said, if you ever get any kind of like big and gaudy, like it's got big stones and stuff like that,
They're chunky.
down in the description, put like Star Trek, not down in your little terms, Star Trek or Vulcan. Oh yeah.
They use it for
Because that is the kind
cosplay.
of stuff that will fit, especially if it's costume. If it's costume jewelry. I mean, I know a bunch of people that are into that whole dressing.
I'm not
up
getting
thing,
this.
and they buy that stuff for part of their costume.
It's part of the cosplay.
Yeah, it's part of the cosplay.
Oh.
The Vulcan women would wear big, giant, chunky necklaces on the Star
Lori
Trek
knows.
episodes.
She's
I'm a
a
nerd.
geek too.
Okay.
You watch
Okay.
Deep Space Nine. You watch any of
I'll
those.
go with that.
Any of
What
those.
is that? Wear jewelry. They
I
don't
mean,
have
even
any
Star
fit-
Wars. Some of the like in the Cantina episodes. If you look at some of that, like on the Mandalorian, all that, the females, they have big, attractive jewelry pieces.
Yeah.
So
And have you seen the things? I don't know what it's called. It's like the earrings that clip up to their nose.
yeah.
The Bajorans in Star Trek DS9.
Yeah,
that
Deep
was part of
Space
their
Nine.
fashion stuff.
yeah.
Huh.
And so a lot of people that I know, they were making that jewelry and selling it at conventions and things like that.
hmm
So anyway, there's a bit of my history that I'm not too proud of.
That's
you-
good to know, because
Yeah,
I mean,
I would have
No.
not thought
I mean,
to
you could
put Star Trek in the title.
you
Right.
could probably even Google it, like
Cosplay.
Star Trek jewelry, Star Trek cosplay jewelry, and
Yeah.
just to get an
Yeah.
idea of what to look for when it comes to listing in your title.
Because a single, like a gold necklace is not part of the genre. But you got a chain that's got a big stone on it, maybe weird looking filigree around it. That's part of the set. I mean, that's
Right.
part of the look. Joanna, I didn't see this. I was looking back up through it. Yeah, those NICU nurses, God love them. There is a special place in heaven for those people
Hmm.
to do what they do with those little tiny babies. Because my niece was born. Isabel was.
alert has arrived.
She
Good.
was born at 6
Oh.
months, and she was in NICU forever. And my mom would go up there and she'd sit there and she'd cry and watch her through the the incubator, you know.
Yep.
She loves her grandkids.
No,
or
you
actually her great grandkids, because Isabel is a great grandkid. My great niece.
Yeah, it definitely takes a special person to
Yeah.
do that, and kudos to you if you're a nurse.
Yeah. I posted this thing on Facebook. It says something like, we can't do anything with stupid, but we can medicate it. And then up under it's like where the author would be, it was like your nurse. In other words, they can't put up with they can't do anything but your stupidity, but they can make sure they don't have to listen to it.
That's true.
And these I don't watch any medical kind of stuff, surgery or any of that kind of mess on TV. I just don't. I'll fall out on you. Anyway, but these Roberta and them were watching this thing about the neuro NICU surgeons or whatever that phrase is. The baby doctor.
Yeah.
Surgeons.
Neonatal.
And that is just there's not enough damn room to work in those little heads, and they do what they do.
Yep.
So.
Absolutely.
10:50 or 10:30.
I've been having a ball with these
Your what?
spam callers.
Oh.
I found this thing called the Robo Killer, and you can pick things for them to like waste their time. And I picked like the Grinch and the Paranormal Activity and Stuck in Traffic. I mean, it's funnier than hell. I just let it answer it.
What is it, an app?
Yeah, it's called the Robo. I saw it on the news the other day, and it's like $3.99 a month, but it's hilarious. It's well worth it.
Wow.
It's like this girl answers, says, "Hello." Then he said, they say something, "I'm looking for so and so," and they're all foreign. It's all foreigners trying to scam you or something. But they'll say, all of a sudden you hear this noise in the background. Like, did you hear that?
Oh my God.
I'm here alone.
If your picture doesn't pop up on my phone when it rings, there's a very good chance I don't answer.
Yeah, well, that's why I just let it go and let that pick up. It picks up all the spam callers or what they feel is a scam. And it's funny. It's like plus you can make your own. So I'm going to do my Southern mama and Southern grandma, and put that on there.
Yeah, that would be great.
I mean, like the people that from the group here that I've got their phone numbers. I've got, I've taken I've gotten pictures off the internet. And that's when if you were to call, that's what it shows up. Like when Roberta calls, it shows up on my screen. So I don't even have to look to see the writing part of it. I just see the picture.
Right.
And,
go ahead. Sorry.
If a picture doesn't show up, then I turn and look to see look at it closely to see if it says who it's from. If it doesn't have from who it's from, I just hit send it on its way, trash it. I'm not listening because we're coming into the period now where the robocallers are going to be out of this world.
That's what these are, robocallers.
I mean,
robocallers and spammers, scammers, you name it.
Trilogy Media endorses that RoboKiller, and and they actually they've recorded their voices on their RoboKiller or whatever it's called has recorded their voices on there, so they're on there too. They're a channel on YouTube. They're funny as hell.
So Frankie said, "Oh, I almost forgot. I need some help. I'm starting a page on Facebook for building up my local customers buyers list. It is an early notification for auctions and yard sales, and I need a name for it." Sally put, "You ought to know."
Without the question mark. You ought to know.
You ought to know. You ought to know.
She was thinking something like, I gotta know. But I would think you ought to know would be better than that. I don't know.
Hmm.
Oh,
Okay, so the first thing that comes to my mind is extra, extra.
Yeah.
Read all about
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to
What-
think on that.
What
FOMO,
about-
NOMO. Say FOMO, NOMO.
what about something that includes your auction, yard sale? Auction, yard sale. Gotta know. Auction, yard sale. Inquiries, auction, yard sale. Directory.
There you go.
Yeah. There's a few.
Where are all the auctions and rummage sales?
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
that's
name it,
what it,
where are
that's,
all the auctions
what
and
it-
rummage sales?
yeah, that's where
All the auctions gone. Long time
Yeah.
passing.
I'll keep it in my head. I'll
Yeah.
see if I can't bring something up.
It's for
If you have the
notifying.
name of your area, though, you probably should have the name of your area in there somewhere too.
Yeah, you could do that too.
It's for notifying people of her auctions and
I
yard
think
sales. that
just
she's holding,
local.
or just
I think just-
local.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
just local.
Yeah, then I think it should
stuff.
definitely have a place name in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Such and such area rummage sales and auctions or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Local yokels.
Yeah.
Sometimes a specific name is better because people might search for it in a, you know what I mean? You ought to know it's clever, but it,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very vague.
Yeah.
right. Somebody who might put in a YouTube search for,
Yeah.
your town flea markets, and then her group would come up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Or,
big
yeah,
lot.
just your local name, your local whatever, like mine's Prudentville
What?
auction yard sales
Yeah.
or garage sales or,
What is your name?
Prudentville is
Oh,
the
I
name
think you
of
said Puddinville. Okay,
Of course you would. Of course you would.
Hey, Puddin.
Yeah.
Well,
Come
my
on,
hearing
why
aids
are
are
you
not working as they did
surprised,
this
Sally?
morning. Puddinville. That's what I'm saying. Is that your nickname? Is that what Valerie calls you when we're not around as Pud?
Puddinville.
Hey, Puddin.
My Roberta's niece, is-
Mr. J.
Roberta's niece has
killed me.
changed her Facebook page. It used to be some little nickname she used to have, and now it's her like Elizabeth, whatever her married name is. And I posted. I said, "What's the matter? You're married and you're all grown up now. You want your formal name?" I said, "I can't call you Poot anymore." And everybody that's a part of her, everybody that's on her Facebook must have responded. They just like, Poot. I'm going to have to remember that. I've never called a child Poot.
Little Poot, little Poot.
She sent me a private message and she says, I have people call me up now. My friends call me up and say, "Hey, Poot, let's go to the mall." Jason,
Gosh.
it seemed like it was not the God, I can't think this morning. Not the Apple system, but the other one, Android. They must have inserted something into the code because now when somebody calls and I don't know, they're not in my contacts list, it says likely spam caller.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I
Oh,
get
I wish
that.
mine would do that.
Or it'll say
But-
potential spam or potential
Yeah.
scam or
Are you
spoof.
That's not Android. That's your phone company. Because mine come up as spam risk and stuff.
oh,
Are you
is it? Okay.
Verizon, Tom? Because Verizon just started that.
No, mine's with
I got
T-Mobile.
Verizon.
Oh,
Now, if it's
Yeah.
somebody I know, it'll say like Teresa calling or Teresa Banks calling or something. But
right.
A friend of mine called me from his office and it came up as spam likely. But when I went and listened to the voicemail, it was Chris saying, "Hey man, you just called me. I know you're by your phone." So I called him back and I said, "Hey man, it came up on my phone as spam likely."
Huh.
So this was a new number they had at their office. So he told his office manager about it, and she had to see about getting a new number because she can't have that. She can't have their people calling people and them not accepting the call because they think it's spam.
Right.
Yeah.
So that to me looks like that's going to be an issue for phone companies in the
Mhm.
future.
Hey, Valerie, on your sales that you've gotten with Macari, are
Mhm.
you doing any promotions?
I am not.
Okay. So they're just buying stuff outright then?
Yep. Yeah. So far it's just been regular. I haven't done any promoting with any of them.
Well, like,
No.
I just don't want to waste my time, them liking an item and, kind of like Poshmark, like I just read a thing on the Poshmark Instagram page about people thinking that Poshmark is like a waste of time because people are putting so much time into sending promotions and sending, offered likers and stuff,
Mhm.
and then they're not getting anything back from it as far as sales because people are just liking it like they would a Facebook page,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so they're kind of trying to find a way to cut out that part of it, without hindering the sale or hindering the site.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
But I just wanted to see what your thoughts were on that and like what your experience has been. It's so like whenever I look at my Macari notifications, if somebody buys something, it'll be on that.
Yeah, it'll be under action required. You'll see it under
Okay.
action required that where you have to package the item up.
Okay.
So that's where you'll get your notification from. And you should get a text message, you should get an
Okay.
email. So, they definitely will let you know if something
Okay.
is sold. Or also if because a lot of they do the offers through chat. So it'll also tell you if you have a chat message that you need to open up. And most of the time you have to open your chats through your phone app, not through your computer, the PC. Because it is a phone. It was originally a phone app.
Yeah.
That's where Macari started, just like Poshmark did. But they run it a lot of it off of the app. So some of the
Right.
functions you can only do on your phone.
Okay.
Have you gotten quite a few sales over there?
Yeah, I've got a few.
Yeah.
I think truthfully, I think a lot of the reason why I got the sale is because I'm showing activity because I'm cross listing from eBay over to Macari. So I think that's where I'm getting some of those sales. But I'm just gonna keep on doing that.
I'm trying to figure out a way. I'm not, like trying to spend too much time into like how I'm doing this, but I'm like trying to figure out a good way to cross post to all three
Mhm.
Have the
with-
windows.
without spending a lot of time, but I have to do it in a certain way to where I can copy and paste from one to another.
Have all the windows open.
I'm
Different
trying
tab.
that, like on my phone.
Oh, on your phone. I thought you meant on your
It would,
computer.
well, I would do it through eBay first. I think that would be the best way. Do it through eBay first, and then once I get that listing done, bring it up on my phone, and then I can cross post to Macari and Poshmark, but I would have to copy and paste descriptions and stuff like that to make it easy enough for me, like, and worth the time. You know what I mean? I would have to cross post or
I would do it on your computer with tabs open. That's what I used to do. Like at night when I was watching TV or something, I'd have the tabs open of all the different programs that I use. And if I was doing clothes, I'd do Poshmark first because that one's the square photos without even trying.
Yeah,
right,
that's true.
right. And see, that's my problem, is because I took the pictures with my phone. So instead of having to transfer the pictures from my phone to my desktop, then I could just do it from my phone.
Yeah.
You know
I
what I
gotta
mean?
go. It's 11:07. Y'all have
Oh.
a great day.
Okay.
Okay.
Great seeing y'all
Bye.
again. You'll have
Bye. Too.
make a lot of money.
Yeah, I gotta go take my dogs out, so I will probably see you all tomorrow.
Okay.
So, bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, if you want to do it on your phone, then I don't know, can you have different windows open on your phone?
Okay, Hank. I see
It's not
that.
hard on your phone.
She says open 3 tabs on your computer and upload the pics to all. Okay. I'm gonna try it that way and see if that makes it. I think that would actually make it better.
She says she uses a cloud to have photos available instantly. They upload from the phone where I took them to cloud service. Yeah, Carol says do eBay and add pics. And do the rest on the. That's an idea. You could do.
Yeah, but I can't do that with the Macari because Macari
that's
doesn't do
true.
drafts.
That's true. Huh.
See, that's where my downfall was, because
Yeah.
I was trying to do, because
What
I'm
is
because
Yeah.
you can't save a
problem with
draft on,
Macari?
can't save a draft on Macari
Why are you trying to save a draft on Macari?
because to not do it from my phone.
Just open up all the tabs. You got your phone. You got your photos on your computer.
No, on my phone.
Well, then just upload them on eBay and then copy and paste them into the other, or save them onto your computer from eBay and then, because that's what I used to do, is I would save the photos on my computer. I'd open up all the tabs to where I wanted to be, and then I would just go between tabs and just copy and paste all the way through, and then just upload my photos.
I'm gonna have to do that, Hank. I think that would be easiest.
Yeah.
To have it set up to where when you click to upload the pics that they go onto my computer,
Mhm.
like through the cloud or something. So yeah, I think that would actually be. I know, Carol. I know. I'm just trying to put it in my head like that. Like, that's what I should do.
There you go.
I used to always take my photos, and if I was doing cross posting with clothes, that is, I would always take my photos in Poshmark because I had that square photo automatically.
Yeah.
And if you take a photo like from eBay or something else, you gotta like kind of tweak it so that it fits. So I'd always do my first original listing in Poshmark because you had that square photo. And the photo would match any other program, any other site.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you could do
I
it
know.
that way, just, and you could just list a whole bunch of stuff on Poshmark, and then one night when you're sitting there watching TV or something, go on there, open up tabs, and then start cross-posting,
I know. I don't think that I would do it though. I think I have to do it to where I
do it all at one time.
list it on eBay, then do it on Posh and Mercari. And if I don't do it like that, then it's not gonna get done.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying with the photos is if you do it unless you're doing actual square photos on eBay, you're gonna run into a problem with Poshmark and the photo, because if you take a photo on your just plain Jane on your phone, when you go to put it in Poshmark, it's hard to fit in that square photo unless you've already taken the square photo.
But you can crop it.
I know, but it doesn't always fit right. The photo.
Yeah, Hank says just on your photos, when you're taking on your phone, you make sure that you have the 1-to-1 ratio.
the
Yeah,
square-
you said square setting.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but she already said she took the photos. So on those
Oh.
ones, it's gonna be a pain in the butt for her to get it cropped onto Poshmark, because sometimes
So would it be
I've had it
better
happen
to, would it
where
be
I've taken
better
the photo and I
to,
couldn't get it square on Poshmark.
would it be better to take pictures for Poshmark first? Then you have the square and then you
That's what I
send them,
said.
Yes.
you send them to your computer and then do the rest of the listing on my computer. I could save it as a draft and then save the pictures onto my computer, and then it'll always already be square.
Yeah.
That's what I
Okay.
do. I would take it, I would upload it onto Poshmark, and then I'd go on Poshmark and save all my photos to the computer, which takes no time at all. And then, the right click and save as or whatever. And I put it on my desktop, just a folder on my desktop. So it was easy access.
Those
And then-
pictures
then
that
go
I
and do
take
the
for Poshmark though, they won't be a problem to put on eBay.
Nope.
No,
Okay,
no, because they're already square, and eBay likes square photos.
okay. I'm just
That's
trying to
why I
put
always
it in
did-
my head.
I know.
You know
That's
what
why
I mean?
always
Like,
did Poshmark first. Then you already got the square photo.
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
It was the only program that I ever had problems with fitting the picture perfectly. I mean, you can fit the picture in there, but it won't be perfect like you would if you just took it with Poshmark. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you go and you take a picture from eBay, it's not going to look right or align right. Some do, but most of them don't align right in Poshmark's square photo system. So that's why I'm saying I would do Poshmark, since you're a clothing seller. I would do Poshmark first.
But I'm doing other things other than
Oh
clothing.
yeah, but I'm just
obviously.
saying that with your clothing, that's the majority of the stuff you sell. I would do Poshmark first.
Okay, Eric.
What? Just telling you how to do it. That's all.
I know.
And ask for help.
Thank you for your help, Nikki.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up for today. I hope everybody had a great day. We had a good show today. I was glad everybody came in and
Yeah, that was awesome.
hung out. And
Could I
everything.
do
Charles?
You sure can.
a shameless plug?
Sure.
I'm going to be on a show this afternoon.
Okay.
Jenny and Victoria reselling, I think it's going to be on Reselling Addicts channel at
Uh-huh.
5 p.m. Eastern. If
Okay.
anybody's interested.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think,
Definitely. We
That's
will
what
definitely look for that.
Awesome. We'll come see you.
Awesome.
All righty. I hope everybody has a great day, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Goodbye.
Yes.